welcome back to my channel. This is Heba from My Little Journal, and today I'm here to share with you my January 2025 stamp release. I have 3 new stamp sets and I'm so excited to share them with you. And obviously, as always, I will be sharing like a little process video with you, just kind of giving you some ideas on how to use these stamps. So let's get right into it, and I'm going to share with you my first stamp set, which is my currently stamp. So I created 2 different stamps for this. This one is the regular size, and I created a mini as well. And so I'm going to talk about these stamps in a second, but the reason why I did this, it was basically because I'm going to be working in a take a note documenting my currentlies, and I have an A5 current take a note journal, and some of my members have the smaller version, which is the A6, and so I created the currently mini for them. And so I will do a process video. I think I'm going to work in my currently journal, so I'll share with you how I'm going to use these. But you can use this currently stamp set in any type of project, just because it's perfect to document what you're currently listening to, watching, doing, loving, wearing, cleaning, drinking, disliking, pinning for Pinterest, feeling, eating. And I did add 3 different sizes with 3 different fonts currently's on my larger currently stamp set. And this one is the currently mini. And so basically, because this one's smaller, the text is smaller, so I was able to add more currently's in here. Some of them are the same as my larger currently, but like I said, I was able to add more, like documenting, cooking, crafting. I don't think I have crafting on this one. Rewatching, I really like that one. I rewatch a lot of movies and shows. And then I was able to add the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 3 different currently. So you can either combine them and get both, and basically if you wanted 2 different sizes, or you can just grab the larger one or the mini for whatever project you're working on. So those are really exciting, and obviously I'll share with you them stamped out, and we'll probably use this stamp set today in my process. Next up is my Tori Alpha. I am so excited for this one. It is such a fun alpha, and it is beautiful. Once you stamp it out, you can color it in and then color in the shadow of the alpha. It's so fun to use in your daily journal, and obviously I'm going to share with you how it looks stamped out. But I named this after my love for Tori Amos. I've been to so many of her concerts. I'm a huge fan since I was a teenager, so I was excited to name this after her. I just had to name one of my alphas, especially one of my favorites, after her. So I have these 3 new stamp sets, and like I said, I'm going to share with you what they look like stamped out. All right, for the Tori, this is a beauty. I love how it looks once you color it in, and you can add a different color to add like this drop shadow. It just looks so good, and it's so fun to use. I've used it so many times in my 2024 daily journal, because I did, when you design these things, you have to get the samples, try them out, all that good stuff. So I have been using it, or I was using it in my 2024 daily journal. So let me grab that and share it with you. So here's some ideas and examples on how to use it. I used it here and for my maker's market, little bundle. Oh, and I used it here as well. I was kind of playing with this a lot. I was just I used it for the vote. I was trying to make things pop, and it's so bold and large. It really stands out in your daily journal. Oh, I got it here as well, the ketchup. And this one, I wanted something bold for this day. I was documenting a wedding, so I just used my Tori Alphas for that. I just love this, the chat date. Really, really fun alpha to use. And like I said, you can, color in your alpha a lighter shade of whatever color you're using, and then use the darker shade for the drop shadow, and it really, really helps it pop. So that is my Tori Alpha. Let's take a look at the Currently. So this one is the larger one, and you can always use those Currentlys to stamp right above what you're currently doing or underneath. It just adds some cuteness, and I don't know, I played around a little bit with the colors. I just stamped the word in black and then stamped the Currently in a different color and vice versa. Really fun to play with. This one's my mini, and you can do the same exact thing with the mini, and you can also use the 1 through 5 to basically, I just used one of my dot markers to add little dots, and you can probably like just put one, cleaning, and then what you cleaned, liking, what you like, cooking, things like that. So fun. Really, really excited for these new stamp sets. And like I said, I will be working in my Take-A-Note. So this is my Take-A-Note, which I'm going to be documenting my currently watching, reading, all that good stuff. This is a planner, but I'm not going to be using it as a planner. I just like how there's columns. You guys know I'm a column kind of girl, and I'm just going to cover the dates. I don't want to use this by month or year or whatever the case is. I will be covering up those dates, and I'm thinking I can use this for multiple years because I'm going to be documenting, like currently reading, maybe watching, listening to, little things like that. So we're going to work in this today. And basically that's going to be my intro to my Currently journal. And if this is something you enjoy watching and want to see more of, I'll definitely start adding this to my YouTube watch list, basically. I'll just have to start filming my Currentlys for you. But anyways, let's get right into it. I'm going to set everything aside, and we are going to use my Currently stamp sets to document what I'm currently doing, watching, reading, and all that good stuff. Let's use our Currently stamp sets in my Currently journal. So I'm going to be using a Take-A-Note planner to document all my Currentlys. So like I said earlier, I'm not using this as a planner. I don't really care for the months and the dates, so I'm going to be covering all the numbers and stamping out my own. I will be documenting one show, one movie, and a podcast. So for my numbers, I'm going to be using my Planet stamp set to stamp out the numbers. I'm going to try to keep this consistent and cohesive as much as possible. Sometimes my photos have to be printed as a square, like that podcast, and sometimes they have to be printed in a vertical manner. So I'm going to have space for my number next to the photo when my photos are smaller, but when my photos are square, I'm just going to stamp the number on the bottom of that column. And what I like about the Take-A-Note planner is it's columns every week, and so it just works really well to document my Currentlys. So now basically I'm using my 2 Currently stamp sets. I'm starting with my larger one, and I'm stamping watching right underneath my photo. This is just a show. It's an Arabic show that I watched and binged watched, really enjoyed it. So I just stamped watching, and underneath watching, I stamped Currently. I'm kind of going back and forth between both stamp sets. And then underneath my podcast, The Scrap Gals, such a fan. And actually, while I was listening to their episode, they mentioned me. So I was like kind of fangirling a little bit, and I got excited. So I had to document that in my journal. And I basically stamped listening, and right above it, I stamped Currently. And for my last photo, I'm documenting watching Due Date with my kids. Now, it was a rewatch for me, but it was the first time for my kids. So I ended up grabbing the rewatching from my Currently mini stamp, and I also stamped Currently right above that. Anyways, once I'm done stamping all my Currentlys, I go through my sticker sheets. I just wanted to add a pop of color. I don't know how I want this journal to look yet, but I'm just playing right now. I always do this. I always start by playing with stickers and stamping and things like that. And once I get the hang of it and find my style in the journal, I just stick to it basically. So this is basically a tryout at this point. So I end up using like a must listen to sticker. I think one of the stickers that I end up adding is spent quality time watching this or something like that. I thought it was cute. And so I ended up adding that to my Arabic show. And now I'm going to go through my pet tape. I love the little couch from my pet tape, so I'm just gonna cut that out and stick that down on my last column, have like a little couch there. I'll probably end up stamping something next to it just to fill in that gap. But like I said, I'm just playing at this point and I'm just adding stickers and things like that. Before I start journaling, I just wanted to add a little something to my first column. And so I decided to grab this older Kelly Perky stamp and I stamped binged because I totally binged watched this show. And I stamped it in blue to bring in some blue to the opposite side of my page. Anyways, now I can journal. Now, while I was journaling, I thought to myself, I don't have to fill out the whole column with journaling. It's okay if I have blank spots. And so I kept reminding myself while I was journaling, and I do end up with some blank spots, which is pretty cool. But I did end up filling in the blank spots. One tip for everybody, if you are going to be working in a take a note and using it as your currently journal, it's okay to have blank spots. Don't do the same mistake that I did because at the end, I remembered I didn't stamp my star ratings. I do end up stamping them. I don't think I did it on camera, but I do end up stamping the star ratings. I find little spots here and there. But now that I know, the next time I work in my currently journal, I'll try to remember to leave space for my star ratings and not to fill in the columns completely. Anyways, I am almost done. Before I wrap it up, I decide that actually I do want to stamp the month. And the reason I decided this was because if I had two currentlies 1 month, I'm not stuck with what the planner is providing for me. If, let's say, January obviously has 31 days, I don't have to stick to 31 currentlies. I can make my own months. I can even use this journal for more than 1 year, basically. And if I had like a bunch of currentlies and they don't fit within that month, I can do that as well. So I decided I'm going to stamp my own month. I hope I'm making sense. I was going to just do it myself. And that way, if I want to document a bunch of currentlies, I can. If I only have a few, I can. And I used my currently stamp set to stamp currently right above the January. And basically, I've created my own month and I'm just going to ignore the numbers at the top. And I'm pretty good at that. I totally use journals in different ways and planners in different ways. So I'm okay with having that 12 and 1 in the corner. It's not a big deal for me. I can even cover that up if I wanted to. But I think this is going to work out really well for me. Anyways, you guys, I am going to call my layout done. Don't forget today's release day, and I'm going to add all the information in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.